Hello, guys. I am Tara, the author of the Dining on a Dime cookbook where you can eat better, spend less. Today we are talking about side hustles. This was one of my many side hustles that has now turned into our full-time income for our family. And we are talking about side hustles that my wonderful assistant Janelle, for those of you who haven't met her, she is one of my assistants that helps me out with my email. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hi everybody.
So today we are talking about some of your side hustles because we talked to Heidi and she's like, oh, you need to talk to Janelle. She's done all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, okay.
That's so funny. I would say she's done more than me, but
Oh, that's funny.
hard to
Well,
know.
you know,
We
I
all have our things.
And I think it's good to have different people giving different ideas because we got a comment just today that a lady said, I didn't even think about it, but Heidi said, if you're one of those people that can go in and pick out a quality item at the store or a garage sale or whatever, she said, you can turn around and sell it on eBay. And I was like, that's a great idea. I wouldn't have thought about, but let's see, how am I trying to say? So I go and buy things at garage sales and resell them, but I
Yep.
wouldn't have thought about buying the quality and focusing on the quality items.
Oh, for sure. And there's
Yeah.
1,000 niche markets.
Mm-hmm.
eBay can be hard because it definitely ebbs and flows. So you have to be
Yeah.
okay with that. But yeah, I've been selling actually since I was in high school. I didn't even mention that one, but my dad bought me my first digital camera because he wanted me to help sell some equipment that he had on the
Uh-huh.
farm. And that's kind of when online selling became a thing. And he
Mm-hmm.
saw me selling on there and really wanted to support that. So my account is pretty old.
Oh, that's great. So what kind of things have you done to make money on the side?
Oh, goodness. Okay. My most famous endeavor is we lived in Indianapolis for a little while. And when we first moved there, I saw a Craigslist ad that you could deliver phone books and they paid by the book or whatever for an address.
Oh,
And I said,
wow.
let's just do, my husband was like, that's insane. I was like, let's just do our neighborhood and it will help us get to know our new neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We had to make, I think, 4 or 5 trips with our minivan. It was packed full. And we had all these towers of phone books in our garage. It's probably like the books you have in your
Yep.
wherever.
Yep. In our
And
garage.
we could only carry, I want to say it was like 5 at a time because they were so heavy. They were in these pre-bagged things and it was summer and we were sweating and we made, I can't remember how much we made, but I mean, it was fun. It's a fun memory, but we have
Mm-hmm.
pictures of our son just sitting on these towers of phone books. So that was a good one. It was just a Craigslist ad. It was a one-time check, and I think we used the money and went to the fair or something.
Oh,
So
that's
it's just
funny.
an odd, right?
Uh,
When we moved to Rochester, I made a friend who has a cake pop business, and she had just lost her partner and asked if I would be interested in making cake pops with her. So we've done that. We've done baby showers, weddings, graduations. We've done some huge high volume orders.
wow.
And since I got in on her business that was already established, she had all the tools, which is not a whole lot that you need to get started in that. But that's been really great. And now we're at the point where we don't pursue it actively, but we'll just have people approach us. Can you do these for this party or whatnot? And that's really nice. That's a nice income. You make
So
a
for
good
something
profit.
like that, do you have to have a special kitchen or anything?
We do not because we just do it for people that we know or already
Mm-hmm.
have a relationship with. So we don't advertise anything as being a state certified kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
The process of getting a cottage license here in Minnesota is not real intensive. But
Mm-hmm.
also, the church I attend has a daycare, and so they have 2 state certified kitchens. So there's places where you can find access to
Mm-hmm.
one,
Yeah.
even if you don't have one in your own home.
Or like a
Really cool.
restaurant on their off days when they're closed. Sometimes if it's a smaller community type, I mean, we're not talking Chili's, but
Sure.
smaller community restaurants, you might be able to do something like that. Or a town hall. My town hall has one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's lots of
Yeah.
places that you can, if you
Mm-hmm.
just Google is so powerful. Um, and so, you can find, I actually see people advertising all the time in our area for cakes. Can you make this
Mm-hmm.
decorated themed
Yep.
cake for my kid's
Mm-hmm.
birthday party?
Yep.
So if that's something that you can get into or take a class, there are classes at like Michael's
Mm-hmm.
or think Joanne Fabric
Mm-hmm.
has cake
Yep.
decorating classes too. They're not real
Mm-mm.
expensive, so
Yeah. And
that would
like
be a good
my
investment.
Yeah, and my mom used to sell gingerbread men at Christmas just
Oh,
to friends and
cute
family.
idea.
Yeah, but she would sell a lot. She would sell a ton. But you can if you keep it with just like friends and family,
Oh yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. So,
No, and there's a handful of people in this area that do lefse, and they'll just have a one-line newspaper ad. It'll say the lady's name,
mhm.
lefse, and a phone number.
What is lefse? I've never heard of that.
It's a Norwegian. It's like, well, Heidi can tell you better than
Uh-huh.
I. It's like a pancake made with potato.
Oh,
And
okay.
so you make it on a special griddle, and then some people eat it with lutefisk.
Mhm.
I can't. I can't talk about the lutefisk, but I can tell you it's absolutely delicious rolled up with cinnamon and sugar.
Huh.
That's a very popular area because there are so many people that are Norwegian
Mhm.
here. So wherever you live, my husband's from a Dutch community and almond related things are huge sellers. So wherever you are, find your niche
Mhm.
there.
Neat.
So this Christmas, I got a Cricut, which is one of those vinyl cutting machines.
Mhm.
And I've been wanting one for years. And my husband finally got me one. I don't know how much he paid for it, but I think I've probably earned the money back on it. I've been selling buckets that are decaled and have lights inside them to people who are camping or have fire pits,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. It's actually set up on the counter right now because I have another order. So that's exciting. People are starting to order for Father's Day.
So I have to say, when you showed that on Facebook, I was kind of like, huh?
Yeah,
And I did ask you about it because I was like, okay, what is that? Because it was
right?
super cute. It was super cute, but I had no idea what it
Yeah.
was. And then you explained it to me. So explain a little bit more about what it is.
Okay, so they are just 5-gallon buckets that have a vinyl decal on them, and they're white buckets. So then I have a color changing light that goes inside.
Mhm.
So when you turn on the light, the whole bucket illuminates like the silhouette of the design that's on there.
Mhm.
So I've personalized those with family names for people who have campers. I've done special designs for people who want them outside their cabin doors or on their boat at night on your pontoon. It's very cool.
Mhm.
People are wanting them now for at their campfire sites. And some people will carry out all their s'more stuff in the bucket.
Mhm.
And then you can use it as a little table. It's lit up
Yeah,
so
or a
you can see
chair.
where you're
Yeah.
at. Yeah, or if you have a camper, it's nice because it marks your site. You know which one
Mhm.
is your site. So they're just kind of fun, but I saw the idea on Etsy, and I actually sell for the same price they sell for on Etsy. Well, in the
Mhm.
middle. But my big deal is that since you don't have to pay shipping on such a large item if you buy from me locally,
Mhm.
you're saving a lot of money. And I'll do a custom design of whatever you'd like.
Oh, that's
They're great.
great,
Yeah, those are really
man.
great. It's something I can do from home, and then I didn't say this on my kids' side hustle video, but I should have. So it takes a little while to weed out. It's called the negative space or the part that's
Mhm.
not the design.
Mhm.
So I actually pay my oldest son $1 a design to sit and do that for me.
Mhm.
And he can do that and listen to music or whatever. And I've farmed out my most intensive time spending part
Mhm.
for $1. So that's totally worth it to
Oh
me. Plus
yeah.
he's earning money, so I don't have to pay for whatever it is he needs money for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that,
That's one thing we didn't mention on the kids side hustle thing, but I'm huge into paying kids for doing things. And I know there's the whole pay for chores, not chores debate, all that. But, I think it's really important for kids to have their own money and start learning because, like, one of my kids wants a $150 bomber jacket, and I'm just like, ugh. But if he spends his own money buying that, he'll know, yeah, this bomber jacket was worth it. I've had it for 10 years. It's the best thing I ever did. Or, oh man, that was a huge mistake.
mm-hmm.
And he's making the mistake on a bomber jacket, or he's making the good choice on the bomber jacket instead of something like a house or a
Or a
car,
car. Or
something that,
college. I
or
mean,
college.
all those
Yeah.
choices are big and expensive.
Yeah. And so I'd rather have them learn those things with their money on smaller things, when they're kids, because you kind of get a feel then when you make a good purchase and when you don't get a good purchase. And I'm not talking about a feeling like feeling good. I mean, you get a feel for what's a good deal and what's not a good deal and if you'll really use it and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with side hustles too, though. And it seems kind of a strange roundabout way to get, to say that, but you learn what things are going to sell and what things aren't, or what's the word I'm looking for? What needs people have, like for housekeeping, mowing lawns. I can't think of the word.
Oh yeah. Yep. Domestic
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so, like here in Colorado, babysitting is huge. Kids are making $1,000, $2,000. Kids are making $1,000 to $2,000 a month babysitting here. It's ridiculous.
Isn't it amazing? The weekend rates are crazy.
$15 an hour. Like,
so I should say that when we very first moved to Rochester and we're living in an expensive rental in a community, we didn't know how long we were going to be here. I met a mom at the bus stop, and she kept losing her nannies. And one day she called me at I think it was 6 a.m. Can you pinch hit for my kids today? From then on, I nannied for her. I think it was $75 a day. I put her kids on the bus. I got them off the bus. And then the littlest one was only with me part of the day because he had preschool. And I had other kids anyways, and I lived a block away. So there was no way it was going to be any handier.
wow.
And that was amazing. It was such a financial blessing to us at the time.
Yeah.
And it really helped her out because a mom is probably better than a nanny if you need some consistency with your kids. And at that time, the dad was working far away, so he wasn't there a lot. So it was very good for both of us.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I didn't have to pay any child care for myself, so that was amazing.
Yeah.
What else have I done? I've participated in focus groups, so I've gone places or let people send me diapers and told them what I've thought about them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
One time I did a display at Sam's Club for a company. So they had their pallet delivered, and I went and set it up. And then I think it was twice a week, I went and organized it and counted the inventory and took pictures for them. And then they just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So what of all your side hustles, what brought you the most money for the least amount of work? I mean, what brought you the best pay for the amount of work that you did for all of your side hustles? Do you know?
Gosh, eBay has been really good.
Okay.
eBay has been very good. It's something I'll probably never stop doing. I actually fell into a couple of multi-level marketing things, which are not something I'm normally a fan of. But I had a friend who wanted to have a party and didn't have a consultant. And so if you know they're going to do that kind of thing and you're in the right place at the right time, you can jump in. I ended up getting my kit for free, and it paid for a dishwasher in my house.
Oh, okay.
It was very easy. I'm not a salesperson like that, so I didn't really ever pursue. But if you find one where people are just wanting to order, that can be okay for you. You shouldn't buy a ton of inventory and invest a lot, but it can be okay, I think. I've done research surveys online, and those are nice because they only take a few minutes. You can do them or not. I really like things where you have freedom to do what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I also had a virtual assistant position that fell into my lap. I shouldn't say these things fell into my lap because the biggest thing is I am networked wherever I go. So when we moved to a new community, I made it a point to go to the bus stop and hand out my number to other moms and say, if you ever need anything or if you're wondering if you missed the bus or whatever. I go to a bunko night here and there, and that's a great opportunity to meet lots of ladies in our area that I would never meet. I only substitute. I can't go all the time, but that's a fun way to just make connections. And when you're well connected with people and they feel like they can approach you, that's when you're going to get side hustles.
Well, here's the thing. So we're on a neighborhood app called nextdoor.com where our neighborhood, everybody in our neighborhood, is kind of like on there. And then you could say, oh, the lost dog, whatever. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with it because it can be really great, but then it can be a lot of bickering and fighting and nonsense and stuff too. But I didn't sign up for the notifications. I just go on there when I need something. But one lady advertised, does anyone want a friend? I knew I would like to make some friends. If anybody would like to come over and play cards or get together, let me know and let's get together and let's just have a friend night where we can meet some people. 70 people came.
That's amazing.
70.
What a way
Yeah.
to be connected. It's
Yeah.
so wonderful to know your neighbor. I mean,
Yeah.
in an emergency or on a regular day, it's just good for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. And so your virtual assistant job. So what happened was Heidi, my other assistant, I met her because she was one of my viewers, and we happened to go to Mayo to take my son to Mayo, and she reached out to me and said, you know, if you need to stay at my house or anything, just let me know. And we didn't end up staying at her house, but we had to get together there, and she was so nice. She's bought all of our books. She's been a fan for years. And when I mentioned, you know, oh, I'm starting this grocery group, I need somebody to help me out with it because I'm not going to be able to do it. Well, Heidi got so overwhelmed with the grocery group that I couldn't ask her because we were needing somebody to deal with our email now. And Heidi was like, well, my friend Janelle might be pretty good at it. I'm like, okay. And, you know, it's been working out great. So just that whole networking, even online networking.
It's really amazing. I have a cousin who is incredibly successful as a physician, and he has been to Harvard and to some really prestigious places. And last time I saw him, I was picking his brain about why he was doing so well and having such success. And he said, everywhere I went, I networked and made connections.
Yeah.
He didn't reference money. He didn't reference being intelligent. It was all about just connecting with people and letting them know they were important to him.
You know what? I think we're going to stop here and let's do a video on that, a short video, because I have that question all the time. How do I network with people? So we're going to stop right here. Or did you have any other side hustle ideas?
I mean, I could
Did
go
we
for
hit them
it.
all?
I think, look. Oh, I used to find trash on the side of the road. We lived in a neighborhood, and I would truly every week I would find a stroller or a car seat and clean it and sell it on Craigslist.
I
But
did
I'm
that all the time. Yep, I did that all the time.
Oh, and then I have a friend I went to business school with that I do legal research for sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
And I worked for Blue Bunny as an ice cream taster in college.
Oh, that would be a nice job.
That was amazing. Okay, but we can skip those.
Were there any ice creams that were just really bad?
No.
Really?
It's like, no, they were all good. They would be like, is this mix too airy? Is this too thick? Is this too much chocolate? Which the answer to that is never no.
I don't think you can ever have too much. All right. Thank you, Janelle. We're going to come back and talk about networking because that's a really good question that I get all the time when people are like, well, how do I network? So we're going to talk about that in our next video. Please check out our Dining on a Dime cookbook, one of my first side hustles that has now turned into our family business. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please visit us at livingonadime.com and give us a great big thumbs up if you guys want to see more videos from us. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!